Hi you guys. So I am canning something right now in my canner, and it's just about done. It's going to be done here in a minute. But since I've got this canner and the water is hot and I have a couple things that didn't seal, I'm going to reprocess them. So I just wanted to tell you really quick how I'm going to do that and what I'm reprocessing. And yeah, let's just talk about reprocessing and how you can do that safely and easily in your own home if something doesn't seal for whatever reason. I want you to watch my post-mortem video first, so I'm going to link that somewhere up here where we discuss how you can figure out why something didn't reprocess or didn't seal the first time. And now we'll show you how to reprocess something altogether. Okay, so I just had to take these cowboy candies out of the canner, and so I just took them out. I brought the rack up, and I'm just turning that heat back on, so I'm going to get these up to a boil. So while those are resting, I'm going to come over here to my hamburger relish that did not, two of them that did not seal. So I'm going to heat these up, and it's actually really hot right now, and ooh, we can hear some sealing. And then I've got my jars and very hot water over here, and I'm going to just pack them like I did the first time. I'm going to put them in the canner and I'm going to reprocess them. Now some things might get mushy if you keep reprocessing them. I think doing it one time is okay. I just have a full jar of this in my refrigerator right now, and I don't want to have two jars that I feel like I have to eat. So I'm going to do that, and I have all this juice left over from the cowboy candy, and I just don't want to throw it away. It's nice and spicy and super sweet. It's a simple syrup with some extra veggies. If you want to see that recipe, I'll link it below and maybe put a card up if I remember to do that. But let's get our stuff together and let's reprocess. So we've checked the jars. These are the ones that went through the processing and didn't process. We know there's no scratches or shards or anything. I think it had to do with the lids and some of this very sweet relish getting on to the tines, or the, what you call it, the lip, the top, and not allowing it to seal. Again, go back and look at my last video. So let's get started right now. Okay, and while I'm putting the lids on this relish, I'm heating up that sauce again that was from the cowboy candy. Everything needs to be hot going into hot jars. You guys already know all that, but that's how I'm managing to reprocess all this at once. So while I have this heating up, I don't want these jars to cool down. So I've got my rack up, I've got these jars waiting in here, and I'm going to put the lid on. So that's the cool thing about these racks that have this cutout which rests on the side of the canner. It also allows you to put the lid on. So those are going to stay nice and hot while I'm bringing this to the boil and getting my jars ready. Alright, so we finally reached a boil on this simple syrup, and of course a watched pot never boils, so put a lid on it. It'll boil. Okay, so we've got clean jars, clean, and you can see boilage. So now we're just going to fill these up and put them in the canner. Talk about perfect. So it came out to be exactly 2 pints. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to slop any of that sticky sugar up on the top of this. That will definitely cause it not to seal. So with the cowboy candy, it said to bring it up to a 1/4 inch for headspace. I left a smidge more, but with these, it's going to work out great. So I'm going to go ahead and get these topped up and into the canner. Since the jalapeno peppers, the cowboy candy said to water bath for 15 minutes in pints, I'm going to need to do that for this. And look, one of my jars is a little taller. I don't have water over the top of it, which means I now need to quickly add some water. So this happens from time to time. The smallmouth jars have a slightly taller, they're slightly taller, and then the wide mouth ones are slightly lower. I'm going to put a little bit more water on there, but I don't really need to worry because I'm not going to start timing until this comes to a full boil, so I don't have to like run super fast around or anything. And while I'm waiting for that to come to a boil, I'm just going to quickly check these. Oh, that one didn't seal. Technically, I could wait to see if it does seal, but since I'm canning right now, reprocessing, I'm going to take this thing apart, figure out why it's not sealed. Maybe it needs more time, maybe it overflowed, and I may very well put it in there to reseal again. So, what do you think? Yeah, I think it's a great idea. God, I sound like Uncle Al. So I took the top off, and it just came right off. I'm tasting the top here. It does not taste like juice. The lid looks good. I don't see anything wrong with the lid. I only needed a 1/4 inch head space. So I don't know why that didn't seal. It popped off so easily, I'm pretty sure it would never have sealed. So I'm going to guess there is something, is that flat? Wrong with either the jar or the lid. So what I'm going to do is quickly get a new lid, put it on there, and I'm going to reprocess it. I'm also going to need to wipe the rim. Alright, so I'm going to do a very good job of wiping that, and we wiped it there. I'm not seeing, I see discoloration down here, but this was just the jar I did previous. I'm not seeing a problem. I'm not feeling anything that's grabbing or, you know, like a shard or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this new warmed lid on and put it into the processor, and we'll reprocess. Okay, reprocessing done. Timer just went off. Let's see how we did here. So as usual, I like to pull the rack up instead of having to pull things directly out of the water. I think it gives the jars just a minute to adjust to this shocking change in temperature that they're going to have right now. Oops, seal. And I also, as always, I have a nice towel down, and we've talked about that in several videos, so I don't need to bore you with that again. Jar straight up and out. Don't tilt to get that water off. You can get it off in a minute. Get the little baby jar out. Band is really loose. That'll happen sometimes when you're processing food, is the bands will get loose, and that's not a big deal. I just tighten them up. Nice. I tighten them up just a tiny bit. Yeah, let's have you guys look at this. I tighten them up just a tiny bit when I pull them out of the canner. And that one's not sealed yet, but it might. These two already have, the lids already have writing on them, and we're in a lid shortage right now. So I'm reusing those lids, but they were used for dry storage. Actually, they were used for fermenting some seeds. A pineapple seed and a teardrop tomato. So don't be afraid of the lighting or the writing. All right, those all sealed. We know that from before. Oop, that one's not sealed. Same jar too. We're gonna give that a little while and see what happens, but that's the way you reprocess. And finally, if it was cold in here, it's not, it's pretty warm, but if it was, I would keep these jars out, and I'm going to leave them out overnight because I want them to cool down slowly and naturally. Then I'll take off the rings before I put them into storage. But since I want them to cool down slowly, and I have a door right there that goes outside, and I don't want people opening that with these jars here. So I'm just going to tuck them in a little baby blanket here and let them be to cool down naturally. And tomorrow we'll check them all, and hopefully they'll all be sealed. We only have one that's unsealed, so hopefully they will. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay? Okay.